Luke, Nano, Milia and Cole, who still responded in unison, their eyes on Lefiya completely changed. At the same time, the person involved, Lefiya, still had the same expression and attitude, and stopped in front of the boy who was sitting on the floor. Luke, I think you shouldn't be too impatient and risk your life. If you fall, the team will be in danger. More importantly, Nano and the others will be very sad. She looked at Luke, and Luke looked at Lefiya. The words that could not be conveyed now also reached his heart. Forced to see the consequences of his actions, the boy showed a shameful expression and bit his lip hard. You can't be impatient, right? Facing Luke like this, Lefiya, whose words resonated in her heart, also lowered her eyes. Furthermore, she thought carefully about what to say to him now, what kind of answer she would be able to give now, and then said, then, let's become stronger as quickly as possible. Be it you, or me. She met his wide eyes, a smile on his lips. People all over the world are suffering. To be honest, I didn't pay much attention to this kind of thing until you told me. It's just my business, which makes me overwhelmed. So I will also work hard to become stronger. So as not to make you angry again. So, I will teach you everything I know, and that is also to fulfill your wish. These are her sincere words. Having gone through a great battle, losing important things, and blindly yearning for her own strength, Lefiya experienced a change in her mindset for the first time. I don't know if that's Loki's intention. It's just that by teaching them, her vision can be expanded and she can also grow, she would now think. Luke. If you have any dissatisfaction, please don't keep it in your heart and tell me everything. Although you seem depressed, I think it's your strength to be able to express your opinions boldly. She finished, and Luke let out another frantic noise. When Anna Kitty and Alicia arrived at the school district, she never thought about resisting each other, just like an obedient puppy, she just happily said, yes, and then nodded. No, even after joining the Loki Familia, it is just an extension of the student. But Luke was different. He can clearly express his opinion, as long as he feels awkward, he will still resist the other party, even if the other party has a higher status. Then, as now, I will admit my mistakes. This really made her very jealous, and she also found it very powerful. Therefore, although she behaved very embarrassingly this time and was very depressed herself, Lefiya still respected Luke very much. It's completely different from what I just said. Didn't you say you weren't allowed to challenge him? Have been trained by the school district, will definitely become stronger. Lefiya said this without words and replaced the dagger and staff on her waist. She bent down and extended her right hand to the boy who rolled his eyes. At this moment, she suddenly recalled the memories of the past, thinking that it was the right time, so she turned them into words. Don't worry. I will convince you and correct you over and over again. Lefiya reached out her hand and smiled at the same time. It was Senpai's bright smile. And seeing the smiling junior boy, she let out a bang. As if she was sick, her face made noises and her face was red. With the driving technique that can be called art, the school district passed through the Lake Gorge and returned to the Murin Port City that he hadn't seen in 3 years. It was the first time Lefiya had seen it since that time. Upon entering the port, Lefiya couldn't help but feel deeply moved. Along the harbor, many people waved their hands or flags, and some even played musical instruments to welcome the return of the school district. Even in the Labyrinth City, many people gathered to watch this scene. The return of the school district can be considered a major event in the port city. Not only the port, but also people jumping with banners on the high platform and the roof of the building, and even innocent children running with the boat and waving their hands. The hometown is like welcoming a child home, and he is happy to return to the school district that took children around the world and sends him praise. It's amazing, It's amazing, Arisa. Although the city where I parked before was welcoming, this is the first time I've seen so many people crowded together. It's like a triumphal parade in history. Well, that's right. I joined the school district after I left Orario last time, so this is the first time I've seen this kind of scene. Lefiya and Arisa are very excited. They even thought expectantly in their hearts, will there be any activity? Although it is not possible to enter before the start of the practice in Orario. Also enjoy the long-lost land, but over the years, there have been many factions on Orario's side who can't wait for the family recruitment and plan to contact the students in the port city and send out invitations. The atmosphere is so enthusiastic that everyone will inevitably feel impetuous. If it is the students themselves who choose the exit, as a teacher I will not say much. But please don't destroy yourself in the heat of the moment. The return of the school district is indeed a very special event, and the school district even held a school-wide event that has never happened before in other countries and cities. At the meeting, Director Balder and head teacher Leon talked about places that need attention and contact matters. Lefiya was first surprised by the existence of the port itself that could dock the school district, and was very grateful for everyone's welcome in the port city, but upon hearing these words, she also let go of her impetuosity, and after she knew that ships of different nationalities complained fiercely upon being welcomed, their face couldn't help but contort. In front of the gigantic chalk tower that towered into the sky, the students couldn't wait and walked along the shopping street with the atmosphere of Eve Festival, that Batten said. Lefiya also gradually became familiar with it at this time. The school district undergoing renovation at the shipyard will remain in the port city for a long time. This period of time can only be described as very long, and there is no clear deadline. Sometimes it takes half a year, sometimes it takes a year. After all, it is impossible to travel around the world for 3 full years without adequate preparation. And Lefiya is from the Loki Familia, which was added during the binding. Therefore, those who wish to enroll will choose to remain in that school district for the longest period of time. In fact, in that school district, students from port or labyrinthine cities are the most numerous. One of the reasons so many people come to welcome them back is that their children are actually there. Returning to their hometowns in the port city, there are definitely not a few students who spent this Eve festival with their families. In a way, the school district returning to Orario issue can be considered a stage. The school district that keeps sending adventurers to Orario held an event called graduation ceremony. To be more precise, it was a celebration for the entire school, at the same time celebrating the intermediate entrants and graduates like Lefiya, also during this period. And this graduation ceremony is in the labyrinthine city of Orario and will be held after the end of the special internship. In other words, the underground city. Everyone, be careful not to disturb the line. Proceed with caution, Batten, Nathan. I just said, what are you doing without authorization, was here last time. It doesn't matter, the important thing is the ground, the walls and the dungeon components. All previously collected components were used. It's an experiment. This time, I must personally find the true face of this ridiculous labyrinth. Not 10. The monster is coming. Lefiya used to hear about this place in the Thvish forest. In the ancient times, it was called the Great Cave, and it was the crucible of monsters, and the demon cave, that almost exterminated human beings. When exploring for the first time, she was very nervous. And so, I got used to it immediately. Not only did the sight of monsters actually born from the wall surprise her, she was even attacked several times by surprise, but she defeated the low-level monsters like Goblin and Kobold with just one hit. They are actually stronger than the monsters of the same race in the world. Stronger, but in the process of traveling the world, Lefiya and the others fought other tougher monsters along the way.